Welcome to Lanterns Live, the only live stream YouTube channel dedicated solely to Green Lantern. I'm Ralph, and today I'm excited because I'm doing my first Green Lantern fan spotlight, and I'm bringing on the one and only Donnie, who is, as we all know, the Emerald Enthusiast. There he is. How you doing?
What's up, man? It's the man whose ring runs on fanboy energy. It is the Emerald Enthusiast here on Lanterns Live.
Man, and what a time to be a Green Lantern fan. We talked about this just a little bit before we went live, but holy cow, what a time to be a Green Lantern fan. It's absolutely just mind-boggling how much Green Lantern stuff is in there. I was telling you next week I'm doing the spoiler-free review on Tuesday, or on Wednesday, for Superman, which has Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner. But also, I have Green Lantern Corps number 6, I believe, on Thursday. I'm covering that on Thursday.
Awesome.
So, dude, like, you're decked out in your GL gear. You have your hat.
Yep.
You have your tie.
I'm ready to go.
I'm dressed for the summer, but I do have my matching blue ring because I have all kinds of hope going into the next week or so.
All will be well.
I'm hoping.
Yeah.
I'm hoping all will be well. There's this embargo. I know a lot of people that have seen it, but they can't talk about the movie. Mm-hmm. And so it's I don't know. I just need to know. I just need to know. It's so tough. This is 2 years in the making. I didn't think we were going to get a Green Lantern, let alone Guy Gardner, of all people. It's weird. It's weird that Guy Gardner is going to be in the mainstream, that people are going to know who that is by this time next week.
Yeah. Well, and we got so many variations on promises over the last 14 years. It was going to be Green Lantern 2, and then Green Lantern Corps, and then there was going to be a series, and then there was going to be a series with John, and a series with 4 different lanterns, and on and on and on. So we just never knew what to expect, and finally it's here. We've crawled through the desert, and there's a feast waiting on us.
A 14-year desert. Yeah. It's been wild. But dude, let's get the first question out of the way. This is something I ask of all my guests when they join me for the first time. What is your secret origins? What is your first run-in with the character Green Lantern?
Okay, well, when people ask me, what made me a Green Lantern fan, it's a 2-part answer. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to date myself here. I grew up watching the Super Friends, which, again, kid in the 70s, and my first, interaction with Green Lantern was Hal Jordan, the Hal Jordan version on that show. But it was really in the 90s when I was in college and I had my own money for the first time. I was working, and I could go buy comics whenever I wanted. And that was the time that Emerald Twilight and A New Dawn was happening. So it was actually that part of Volume 3 that really reignited my love for Green Lantern. And I wanted to learn as much as I could about the other lanterns because they were really a big part of Volume 3 too. Even though we think of it as Kyle's story, they were still in his orbit. Guy and John were still there. Obviously, Hal was a big part of it. So that, so that was the point where things I really started to focus on Green Lantern when it came to my DC reading.
Right. I'm in the same boat. I was born in 77. I watched Super Friends, gravitated towards Hal, loved Hal. And I don't know if I was earning my own money, but I remember being on a trip. It was the summer of 90. So I think we were going on a trip to Washington, down from Southern California, Washington. And Dick Tracy was coming out, and it was a big deal. Yeah. And I remember we visited a small liquor store, or a what do you call it? Yeah, like a liquor store, picking up snacks and stuff on the way. And they had a spinner rack, and they had Green Lantern number 1, which was that volume 3 that you were talking about. Mm-hmm. Hal with the gray streaks.
Right. 1990. Yes.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and Guy's in it. Guy features heavily in that because Guy's part of the Justice League, and Hal's back, and Guy feels threatened, and it's such a fun read.
Yeah.
But I started getting hooked on that book, and then when Kyle started coming around, then I really, really took a shine to the characters and got more deep into it. So we're pretty much in the same boat as far as this is great.
Well, you remember that glorious era then where there seemed to be comic book shops on every street corner in the 90s. Right. They were everywhere. We had the speculator bubble before it burst, of course, but there were comics everywhere, and it was such a great time to pick those up.
I feel like it was partially due to like Batman, because I remember I picked up a Batman book. I don't remember the issue number, but it was a great like standalone issue where someone was trying to be a copycat Joker. And the cover's this great shot of Joker with the Tommy gun. And of course I'm like knee deep into like Dick Tracy excitement. So there's like a Joker on the cover with a Tommy gun with the shadow of Batman behind him and all these bats flying around. And dude, the story's awesome because this guy wants to be like a copycat Joker and he's obsessed with Joker. And it gets to the point where he decides to throw himself into a vat of acid.
Wow.
But
I know the cover. The cover you're describing. That rings a bell. Yeah.
Yeah. But what's great is the acid that's in that vat is way more powerful than the one that created the Joker, and that dude was off. Oh. Yeah. it was so I'm like 13 years old, and I'm like, whoa, like that was insane. I remember getting that book, and I got the Green Lantern #1. And that just, that was, I want to say like Batmania in '89 really, really caused like a stir with comic books and people collecting comics and reading comics. And it definitely got me into it.
And we also had things like, Spider-Man, the animated series, the X-Men,
Fantastic Four,
even Iron Man. You had it was kind of the sort of precursor to the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Right.
We had all of these Marvel cartoons, and they were reigniting, comic book interest on the Marvel side of things.
Dude, and not to mention Batman the Animated Series.
Yes.
And then Superman, which one of my favorite episodes is the Kyle Rayner episode, even though he's wearing like a kind of a Jon Stewart type of an outfit. Right. Still one of my favorite things was the concept that Kyle worked as an artist, but at the Daily Planet, which I thought was so cool.
Yeah.
I'd love to see something like that happen in a Superman movie, but who knows?
Right. Yeah.
James Gunn has said we haven't seen everybody. We haven't seen all the superheroes in the movie yet. Like, there's still some surprises, so fingers crossed.
Yeah, I'm always like your ring, always hoping. All will be well.
Let's say hi to some folks because we have folks showing up. First is Stevie. That's my wife.
Hello, ma'am.
She usually puts us on in the background while she's working. Shortbox Sean is here.
What's up, man?
Vactor, who will be here next week to discuss Green Lantern Corps #6, I believe. Okay. I believe that's what we're covering. That series has been great. I've been really enjoying that.
I just love the fact that we have multiple Green Lantern books coming out, and it kind of feels like 20 years ago when Volume 4 was really starting to heat up with John's run on the Green Lantern and Green Lantern Corps. It feels so similar.
It feels so good. Yeah. And then with Jeremy Adams bringing Razor and Aya into the fold, like from the animated series, like, dude, you got to be kidding me! Like, it's perfect. Also, we have Green Lantern podcast here. Will is excited. Didn't know there was an all-star panel happening today. Will, you got to hit that bell icon.
What's up, man?
Hit the bell icon. Come on over. We're going to see Will on Wednesday. He's going to join me for that spoiler-free review of Superman. And I don't, maybe towards the end we can get into some spoilers on that. We'll definitely have warnings.
Okay.
So come join us. Watch that stream. Because I kind of want to know, like, I'm probably going to see it Wednesday as well. I got invited to the Warner Brothers lot to go to a employee screening. Awesome. So I'm really, really hoping that comes through because I want to get my stopwatch ready, and I really want to see how much time Guy is actually in
Good
the
man.
movie.
There you go. Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be a lot. I really don't. Even though this a couple days ago. James Gunn posted an image of Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner eating cereal at a diner.
Fruity Pebbles, yes.
Yeah, and I'm like, I haven't seen that set in any of the Superman trailers, so I don't know if that actually takes place in Superman. He hashtagged it Superman. Yeah. So I'm assuming it's from Superman movie, but people are like, it looks like a Peacemaker set, which kind of looks like a diner.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't know what it's for. I don't know if it's for like a Fruity Pebbles tie-in commercial or what. But we'll see. Will says that we'll be spoiler free on Wednesday. Yeah. I'll warn anybody if there's something I really need to talk about it. Because like I do know one thing about the movie, and this is a non-spoiler. This is something that's not in the movie, but a long time ago there was leaked set pictures where Superman was kneeling down talking to a very real squirrel. Like they brought in animal trainers from the zoo that had a clear box with a squirrel inside it. Recently, Brandon Davis over at Hero Phase got to sit in on an interview with James Gunn and then mention the squirrel. And I don't want to break anybody's heart, but it's better that you know this going into the movie. It is not Chip. And I was so hoping.
Right.
I was so hoping it was Chip.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, I like.
And not Badge either, huh? Yeah.
No. It's a squirrel.
Squirrel, yeah.
It's a squirrel.
Or as Phil called him on the blog of oil one time, Badig. And I'm like, we should call him Badig. That sounds more alien.
Like it is. Yeah, it is funny. Like they just take. Yeah, Chip makes sense because they just put the apostrophe where the I is. But Bidged, I never really say it out loud.
It's actually Badge because Simon Baz actually there was an issue where Simon Baz is like, Simon Baz is like it's pronounced Badge, and I'm like, that's probably not how I would have said it in my head, but okay.
Yeah. Will says that the Emerald Enthusiast is one of my favorite voices in the sector.
Well, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Love your content too.
Online. Yeah. And then Vactor says Fruity Pebbles is his favorite cereal along with his son. I'm kind of a dork. Like I grew up where my parents let me eat any cereal that I wanted. And so I grew out of the sugary cereal phase. And now I like my favorite cereal is Raisin Bran. Like how it tastes good.
Man, I'm not going to fall. I mean, I'm old, so I need my brand. So I eat plenty of Raisin Bran.
You know what we need? A Lanterns tie-in with Lucky Charms. Where the marshmallows are the spectrum
the emotional
colors.
spectrum. Yes. I'm all for that.
Let's make that happen. Oh, in fact, I think was this when Green Lantern came out, or was it when Snyder's Justice League came out? There was a Lucky Charms where Lucky had a Green Lantern ring on the box. The marshmallows were the same, but oh my god! And then the other day I was talking to my wife about like the heyday of like 2011, right before the movie came out. Yeah. How Hostess Snowballs had green Hostess Snowballs with a drawing of Hal Jordan on the front. Like this is the stuff I'm excited about. Like, is Green Lantern coming back into the fold and being able to go to Hot Topic and pick up they have the necklace with the ring on it.
Yeah.
You seem to be on top of collecting. Like it's your thing.
Yeah.
Obviously my background, I have more Green Lantern stuff in front of me than I do behind me. I have the quarter scale Kyle Rayner statue from XM, which
that's actually what I got for my 50th birthday.
Yeah. It's incredible.
I love it.
Like I saw it and I'm like, there's no way I'm buying it because it's the quarter scale one and it's so gigantic and it costs a pretty penny.
Oh, it did.
So I would just go and I would just go to the XM page and just stare at the pictures and just like it's like Wolverine in bed with the picture frame. Like I was like that. Oh my gosh, my things are going all over the place today. My little animations. That's how excited I was about this statue. And I showed my wife and I'm like, she's like, do you want that? I'm like, no, I'm not going to spend that much money on just like, it's a statue. Like, what am I going to do? Just stare at it? She ended up getting it for me as a gift.
Oh, good lady.
Dude, like my side of the bed is right here and I'll just stare at it. Yeah. Like I just stare at it. I can't stop staring at it. I just love it so much. And so, yes, that's what I do with it is I stare at it.
When I go to work, I pass, the bedroom is down the hall. I'll pass by this door here, and I always open it up and look at the statue before I go to work. So
it's amazing.
Yeah. See, that was the collectible I wanted for the longest time because there were no premium Kyle collectibles. We had some figures, but yeah. And then one of my favorites here, you can see it right over my shoulder. That is the one of one Hal Jordan bust right here.
Oh yeah,
that's the one that was showcased on The Big Bang Theory.
Right.
There's only 350 of those in the world.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. That's
I got
Sideshow?
That right after. Yeah, Sideshow. It's a 1-to-1 bust, and I got it right after Christmas on a sale one year because it was a pretty penny too, and I didn't really have the money at the time, but I made it work.
Yeah, sometimes you have to.
Yeah.
So speaking of like your Kyle and your Hal and stuff, when it comes to lanterns, do you have a favorite that you like gravitate towards?
Okay, so the answer here is, first of all, most of my top 10 favorite DC characters are lanterns.
That happens every time anyone says like a social media, your top 10 DC characters, and I'm like, okay, Kyle, Hal, Guy, John, Simon gets in there. So what's your lantern? Like, who's your lantern? And it doesn't even have to be an Earth Lantern.
Well, no, I'll say number one, Kyle is my favorite DC character because I've met Daryl Banks and Ron Mars on multiple occasions. I got autographed versions of their figures back here behind me. In fact, Daryl Banks did a commission. I had him do Black Panther as a Green Lantern.
Oh.
Yeah, and that would be a dream crossover for me. I've always wanted to see Black Panther with a Green Lantern ring. But Hal and John would be 2 and 2A, depending on the era. Like I like them both equally, and so Kyle, John, and Hal. That's like my that's my version of the Trinity, the DC Trinity. So
yeah. My wife is a big fan of Guy. She likes Guy.
Yeah,
and I like Guy too. I think if done right, like I really, really enjoy Guy. I think Green Lantern the animated series, Dietrich Bader nailed that. And from what I've seen from Superman, it looks like Nathan Fillion's going to be like nailing that as well.
Oh, I think so. He knows what he's doing.
Dude, did you see that Collider? Did you see that Collider interview?
Oh yes, where he talked about the corporate sponsorship.
Yeah, and wanting to build a bar, and I'm like,
we know what that is.
He knows. We know what that is.
Yeah.
And what's funny is he looks around, and nobody else in the room knows what that is, and I'm like, I'm glad the one guy in the room who's playing Guy Gardner understands Guy Gardner.
Uh-huh. No, he knows. He's a comic book collector, so
yeah. Stevie gets a kick out of him. Yeah, she's a fan. I think I got her a little mini mate, which I took back of Guy Gardner.
I think my favorite Guy Gardner moment though was during Blackest Night when Kyle temporarily died. If you remember that moment.
Oh yeah,
and Guy absolutely refused to let his ring go, and it showed just how much respect and affection he had for Kyle. And when he was making the constructs to keep the ring from flying away, you just saw how much heart the guy really had. And I thought that was a really beautiful moment. And then after he goes through that whole Red Lantern phase, and when Mogo cures him of the Red Lantern energy, and he comes up out of Mogo, and the first thing he does is hug Kyle, and I'm like, that really showed that really fleshed the character out, that he wasn't just the jerk that we saw in the 80s who was always trying to spike the water supply and hit on Aresia and do things like that. And I'm like, okay.
That was one of the things when I was a kid, is reading that first issue of the Green Lantern #1 Volume 3. I think it's either in that, because after I got that one issue, my parents got me a subscription where I used to get them in the plastic bags. They'd show up. They didn't have the barcode and stuff. But I think it was the first issue where Guy is sitting in Justice League's headquarters or something like that in a recliner, and he's made a construct of a scantily clad woman giving him a back rub.
Right.
And I'm like, whoa! Again, I'm 13, and I'm like comics are crazy. Right. I don't know if my parents if my parents crack this open, they're not going to be too happy. but yeah, that's great. You have any favorite alien lanterns?
Well, I really like Kilowog. It's hard to not like Kilowog. Yeah, I mean, Salic is great.
I love
Gosh,
Salic.
I could go on and on.
I think Tomar is my dude.
Yeah.
I really like Tomar.
The third scale Tomar Ray statue that's coming out. I got to have that. I know it's going to cost an arm and a leg, but I got to have it.
I can't. I want it so bad. It looks so good. And like, I like got really, really lucky to get that Kyle statue. Mm-hmm. So definitely be pushing my luck to get like more. But that Tomare statue looks amazing. Awesome. It really looks good. I love Tomare. I love the fact that I love the story about him being from Sector 2813,
right,
which is the home of Krypton.
Yeah.
And that whole story. Okay. Right. So Will mentions, did you see the Tomare concept stuff from the Justice League film that got posted?
Yeah.
I did see it. It looked amazing, but which Justice League film? Was it Snyder's? Was it the one from that like George Miller was going to do? I don't know, but it looked rad.
Yeah.
It looked rad. I should probably go find that and bring it up. Tomare is Sean's guy. Yeah, Tomare, it's one of those things where I loved in the movie, Tomare was the first Lantern to sort of, other than Abin Sur, but sort of welcome Hal to Oa.
Yeah.
Which is great because Tomare is like the first alien Lantern in the Silver Age comics to sort of introduce himself to Hal, which I love. I love that little nod. But it cracked me up that here you open up this whole galactic scale thing in the Silver Age books, and then like in the next issue, he's back to fighting gangsters and stuff.
Right. I got a story, a Tomare story. So this past September, I went to see a game. I used to live in Lexington, Kentucky, and I went to a football game. My wife and I drove all the way out there. And there was a comic shop that I used to go out there to 30 years ago. And I didn't know the place was still open. I wouldn't have suspected it was because most comic shops don't last that long.
Right.
And I happened to see that the place is still open. And I told my wife, I was like, I have to go by. I'm like, I've got to see this place because, again, I was there as a young man and we went in and they were having a sale and the wall book was Green Lantern #6, the first appearance of Tomare. And I was like, I've got to have that.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
So you got it?
Yeah, I got it. Oh yeah.
Good deal.
It was a good deal. Great deal. It's in such good shape. And he was like, we're giving out deals on all these today. And they also had the first appearance of Gorilla Grodd. That was out of my price range. But yeah, the Tomare was actually priced really well. And I was like, all right, let's do it.
Was it graded or anything?
No, it's not graded, but I think it would grade high if I sent it in.
Right.
The pages and the color and everything, there's no like serious damage to it or anything.
That's crazy. Okay, so Will sent me the thing. Let me open up this Tomare thing. If you guys haven't seen it, I'm wondering if I could open it up in a separate page so you're not all looking at my bookmark stuff. This might be impossible here. Oh, here we go. Let's pop this up.
I also really like Volk that from the Morrison run. I really wish they'd bring him back.
What were your thoughts on that Morrison run? Because that came during that 14 years of Green Lantern Desert when we only had just the one book.
You had to like it for what it was. I mean, obviously, it didn't really, it was kind of a throwback story. It didn't tie into anything else. I love the art. Liam Sharp is amazing. Now, I liked, and now it was odd that they called it Season 1 and Season 2. I liked Season 1 better than Season 2, but they were both really good. So, and that art was just amazing. So.
That's great. I had mixed feelings on it because it was the only Green Lantern book, and it was more of a kind of a heady thing, like it was a real heavy book.
Yeah,
very dense. A lot of like really like high concept stuff going on.
I had to reread certain parts. Because did I actually understand that, or am I understanding that correctly? Or
you have to there would be just a mountain of text in a single. The Liam Sharp art was amazing, but there'd just be this wall of text, and I'd be there because I'm not a real strong reader, and so I would start to my mind would start to fade and just like stare at the art. I'm like, oh wait, no, go back and start from the beginning, start reading again. Oh no, I missed it again. But I mean, it was a good book. The art was amazing. The writing was great. It was just so weird. It was such a different take on the character. Yeah. And I was so used to Johns and Venditti. So yeah. I'm going to give this one attempt. It's not letting me share it. You know what? I'll just do a screen grab. But by
the way, I like your setup here. It's so professional. It sounds great, man. Looks great. Love it.
Okay. Thanks. It's funny. I've been doing live streaming for just about maybe 2-3 years, something like that. And it seems to be worked out. It seems to have worked out. This is really, here we go. So this is just going to be a screen grab that I grabbed from the video that's on YouTube.
Okay.
So that, Tomar Ray, one of my absolute favorite Green Lanterns. Almost forgot about this guy. I got a chance to do a pass on the character for Justice League a while back. Unfortunately, he was cut from the film. So I'm assuming this was Zack Snyder's, they say, a couple of years ago. So if you go to J.S. Marantz, go check out the video, because this is actually a spinning figure of Tomar Ray. I really like that design. Again, it looks like a really nice, like, comic accurate version. Something that I'm hoping to see from Lanterns, the series.
The thing about Green Lantern's costume, it shouldn't be that complex to do.
Right.
I see something like this and I'm like, okay, that's perfect for the screen.
Right. The subtlety in the green, it's not super flashy.
It's supposed to be a military type of uniform. So.
Right. But I mean, there's my little Tomar Ray PVC guy. It does have shades of that.
Yeah, that came from the box set.
Yeah, I got both those box sets. I love those. I have those displayed like right in front of my desk. But this is a fabulous design. I think he looks good. I think the fin looks good. I'm usually a fan of the taller one, but I mean, you show me this picture, I know exactly who it is. there's no
doubt.
Yeah, so that's what I'm hoping with the show, is that we get comic accurate costumes. The thing that really has me concerned about the show is every single time they do a press release from Warner Brothers, it's the Earth 1 art, which, don't get me wrong, I really enjoyed Earth 1. I thought it was an interesting take on the characters. But, I mean, it's just an astronaut suit with a glowing green lantern in front of it. So fingers crossed. I'm hoping. We got Comic-Con coming up in a few weeks. I'm hoping we get some Lantern, just concept art or a close-up shot. I was talking to Will about this last week. Like if they just have a shot of like Hal's hand holding a power battery up close.
Anything.
Anything. Will he have white gloves? You know, like I know this Tomar Ray is still basically a drawing, but he's got white gloves. It's one of the things I missed in the 2011 movie, but they said it just didn't look right. And I was looking at the concept art of Ryan Reynolds with white gloves. I'm like, yeah, it looks great. And this person responded, well, yeah, it looks great because it's a drawing. And the drawings of white gloves look great. It probably doesn't translate well.
Well, but see, I didn't think and don't get me wrong, I actually did like the movie costume, but green on green is not going to show the ring as well as green on white, or even green on flesh. You know,
right. And that's one of the things I like about the Guy Gardner is he's got bare hands.
Right,
he's barehanded.
And you can totally see the ring. Yeah.
So Will says he'd love to hear Aaron Pierre recite the oath. I can't wait to hear all these guys. And it appears the small clip that we saw with Lois Lane and Guy Gardner.
Yeah, she said vow, but
she called it a vow.
Yeah,
but
that's what she means. Yeah.
I'm assuming he's sitting there on that couch recites his like it seems like they're in a rush. This is my theory for the movie. The Justice Gang and Lois Lane are inside this. I think it's Maxwell Lord's place, because there's a sign in the back that has the same diamond-shaped Maxwell Lord symbol. Mm-hmm. They're holed out there, and I think something's happening, and Lois is trying to get everybody to go. There's the trailer where Lois Lane's in the T ship, the Mr. Terrific ship. I think she's like, all right, we got to go. Get your stuff. Let's get out of here. We got to go save the day. And Guy Gardner, I think, is going to be like, hold on one second. There's something I got to do before we go. And he sits there and goes through the whole oath. And then just like, can we go now? Right. And she's so frustrated. She rips on his haircut. So I think that's how it's going to go. But Nathan Fillion saying that it has to happen. It's got to happen. I'm assuming that's what's happening.
I never get tired of hearing the oath. I love that in the 2011 movie when Ryan Reynolds did it. I mean, I got chills, man. I'm serious.
Yeah. When he's kind of like, no one told him what the oath was.
Right.
He's the first Green Lantern on Earth. This isn't a well-known thing, and he's like, I don't know. I know the Prince Adam oath that turns into He-Man.
He knows, like, by the power of Grayskull, and then he accidentally hits the lantern, and then all of a sudden it activates. Yeah,
his eyes glaze over white, and it's just coming out of him, and it's just like,
it's beautiful. And like I said, the thing is, for all my issues with the movie, there are moments like that. That's why I still like it.
I really don't have a bunch of issues with the movie. I think for me, the problem with the movie is it's too short and feels like a Cliff's Note version of what Green Lantern is. It just feels like, hey, do you want to know what Green Lantern's about and how he got his powers and what it can do? And do you want to know like the main checklist of who the Guardians are? Maybe bring in the other emotional spectrum. If you just want to know like little check marks of, if someone says, explain to me in like 10 bullet points what Green Lantern is, the movie hits all those bullet points, but that's it. Yeah. Like, it's just like Green Lantern is Hal Jordan. He's a test pilot. He gets a ring from an alien. He goes to Oa and does his training, and everything's so truncated in the movie. Yeah. It needed time to breathe. And also, if you read
especially I would say the space scenes, they really didn't flesh Oa out. And when they had all of those lanterns get killed by Parallax, with Morrow and Izamat Cole and characters that never even got a line of dialogue, and all of a sudden they're gone, They're
gone. I have just right here, I don't know if you have this. It is it's the Green Lantern, the art book.
Oh, yeah.
And in it, there's some stuff where Tomar Ray, Sinestro, and Kilowog helped fight in the battle in Coast City, and which doesn't appear in the movie because Warner Brothers cut out a lot of stuff. And what I'm to understand is they cut out like the last half hour of the movie, which is those four lanterns, Hal, Kilowog, Tomar Ray, and Sinestro, are fighting Parallax on Coast City. In Coast City. And Hal's like basically like, screw this. I'm going to have Parallax chase me to Oa. And he brings Parallax to Oa, where all the Green Lanterns get in on this fight. And it shows the Guardians, because the whole movie, they're like, Sinestro's like, there's this threat, and you guys are ignoring it. You're sitting up here. You think since you're immortal, you think that you're like the top shit. And so all the lanterns so Hal is just like, if you're not going to listen to us, we'll bring the problem right to your doorstep. And then in the fight, that's when Hal thinks about his training and the gravity of the sun, and then takes him to an Owen sun, and dumps Parallax in there. So like a big chunk of the movie story-wise got like
well, and you could tell there were
out.
a lot of cooks in the kitchen with that movie.
Yeah,
and it's like in the middle is where I really think it loses itself, and it gets itself back some towards the end. But it's like it starts off really strong, and then it kind of meanders a little bit, and then it brings itself back at the end. But there were so many areas that I was like, oh, they could have done this here, and it would have been so much better, you know.
Yeah, and I think if they didn't have that, if they knew ahead of time they weren't going to do that last sequence on Oa, they might have had time to sort of flesh out Hector Hammond some more and make his whole demise be more interesting or anything like that. It was just it's kind of rough. What's in the movie, I like Ryan Reynolds as Hal. I like Blake Lively as Carol. Hector Hammond is great. Mark Strong as Sinestro is just like
I'm
amazing.
Still disappointed that we're never going to get to see him as Sinestro again. I mean, maybe you never know, but yeah, the fact that every time I watch, and I watch that movie every year, by the way, I watch it every year, and I get so disappointed when I watch that credit scene where he, puts on the yellow ring, and I'm like, man, we were so close, dude.
It looks so good. Yeah, it looks so good. Maybe in the long run, it will work out for us. Maybe patience will help us. Because in this case, like this Lantern show, I'm really excited about it. I think Damon Lindelof is a terrific writer. I produced a whole documentary about his show Lost. I met him.
Awesome.
And not only did I meet him, I've told this story a lot on the show, so stop me if you heard it. But when we went into his office at Warner Brothers to do his interview, he said, point your cameras anywhere you want, just don't point it at the whiteboard. And so the director and one of the grips grabbed the whiteboard and put it up against the wall. And then the very next day, the rumor came out that he was working on the Green Lantern movie or the Green Lantern show.
Okay.
And I didn't look at the board.
Man.
I didn't look at the board. If I looked at the board, because I had my bag, which has a Kyle Rayner patch on it, a Hal Jordan patch, logos, and then also a Hal Jordan drawing patch. And I don't know if he saw it or not. I'm assuming he didn't. But if I did look at his board and it was just whatever drama set in Nebraska, but then it said constructs, or if it said Hal and John, I would have been like, oh, I know what that is. And I kind of wish I knew. I kind of wish I looked at the board just so I can just say anything to him Green Lantern related and just be like, dude, I'm so excited for you. That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted. So I'm hoping next week, if I get on the Warner Brothers lot to go see that, I know where his office is. I might stop by and drop in a postcard.
That sounds awesome, man.
Which postcard should I do? The Hard Traveling Hero or this dude over here?
Oh, I tell you that. Yeah, that cover. Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah. So I might write a note on here, drop it off in his office, and invite him on the show because I'd love to pick his brain on just him in general as a fan, as a Green Lantern fan, because I know I'm not going to get anything out of him as far as the show's concerned. But we'll see.
I had a great fan moment years ago. We had Jeffrey Thorne on our show, and after it was all over, we were just chatting it up, and I mentioned the Green Lantern movie, and he was like, "Yeah," he said, "I threw my hat in the ring for the sequel." He said, "But obviously it didn't happen." He said, "But this is what I would have done." And then for the next half hour, he talks about what he would have done for a sequel. And I'm like, this is probably the closest I'll ever get to an actual sequel. So I was sitting there and with my, jaw in my lap. And I was like, listen to this guy talking about what he would have done. I was like, wow,
That's great. It's out there. An amazing Green Lantern live action thing is out there. Mm-hmm. I'm really hoping this series is it. I'm really hoping it is. If Watchmen is any indication of what Damon Lindelof could do with an HBO series, it gives me so much hope. Again, I've been wearing this blue ring for a lot lately.
The thing is, if they really unlock the potential of Green Lantern for the mainstream, they would have a massive hit that could go on forever, Yeah. I'm also really excited about My Adventures with Green Lantern. I think it's a great idea to get younger viewers interested in this mythos.
Right. We know it's Jessica Cruz.
Right.
Do you know who the Green Lantern is yet? Do we know if it's Hal? Have they said if it's Hal or not? Because I'm hoping it's Kyle. Because Kyle will be the other Kyle and Simon, and then Callie and the Teen Lantern. I like Joe.
I love Joe.
But like
He's
really,
probably
like,
my favorite character in the last created in the last 6 years or so.
dude, that Far Sector book, I need to do a reread and then cover it on the show for sure, because it is in that desert when there was like Green Lantern was slim pickings. It was a bright spot. It was a real bright spot, man. Just such smart writing, and the artwork was probably my favorite Green Lantern artwork since Ivan Reis, honestly.
Yeah. Like, and it definitely wasn't a kid's book. I mean, it was a pretty dark book. But I like that, and I think part of the reason I like Joe is I saw a little bit of Kyle's journey in that, because she was on her own trying to figure out what to do. And, Kyle was like that in so many instances in Volume 3.
It's like the Greatest American Hero. It didn't come with a manual. It didn't come with a user manual. Yeah. We're getting a lot of love in the chat for My Adventures of Superman, which I watched the first episode, and it wasn't my thing.
You're right, Will. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. And I just kind of want Kyle in there because he's like the one main dude that's not showing up in any of these shows or movies, or that we know of. We'll see.
And Kyle's another one. I think if he were to be put in live action, his similarities personality wise to Spider-Man, I think people would latch onto that, and he would be a breakout character.
Right. For the longest time, I said he was like DC's Spider-Man, because he was really on his own, doing his own thing, trying to learn how to be a hero. Yeah. I love Kyle's story. I love that he was aware of Hal Jordan and the shadow that Hal Jordan cast. We talk a lot about books and movies and TV and all kinds of stuff on the show, but there's one thing that we never bring up that I think everyone should check out if you want to know more about Kyle. There's an audiobook from Graphic Audio that came out years ago. Yeah. Called Hero Quest. Oh man, I can't believe I'm going to forget it. It's from Graphic Audio. It's Greenlight. It's Hero Quest, I think.
Hero's Quest. I think it might be. I'll check on it. I know what you're talking about.
It's on my phone.
I have it here somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's an audiobook from Kyle Rayner's point of view, and you get his inner dialogue. It's written by Denny O'Neil, and it's like, I love listening to it because it really gets you in the head of Kyle. And Hero's Quest, Green Lantern Hero's Quest, from Graphic Audio.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, so like,
I don't know if it'll show up or not on the screen, but
there it is. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
Highly recommend. Look for it, download it, listen to it if you want to know more about Kyle, because it really gets into his head. There's this amazing scene because it comes from his point of view, and he's constantly talking about the shadow of Hal Jordan. Mm-hmm. He knows about Hal Jordan, and he's the only Green Lantern. It plays out his origins perfectly in audio format. Him at the bar at not Radu's. He's at a bar. Radu is the coffee shop. He's at the bar. He goes to the alley, and there's Gambit.
Right.
It all plays out, but you get to hear. Yeah, I think Will just saw your cup.
Yep.
I know. I saw it, dude. Before the episode, I saw that. I need to get my hands on one for sure. I don't drink coffee, but I mean, like,
I actually got a second one. This is the bigger one because, like I said, I'm a big guy. I like to drink water, and I got a second one that I keep in one of my display cases back here that it looks very similar to the ones we see in the comics. So I'm like, I have to have that as a collectible. So
it's so good. Yeah, Green Lantern, Heroes Quest, Justice League of America. Highly recommend it. There's a scene where you really start getting into the character's head, and there's a meeting with Batman where you're just like, Kyle, and this is conveyed so well, is so uncomfortable being in the same room as like the smartest man in the world.
Yeah.
Who's also crazy enough to dress like a bat and go out and punch villains at night. Like if you ever want to know what it's like to be in a room with Batman, it's written so perfectly. Denny O'Neil, check it out. It came out, God knows how long ago, like like back when audiobooks like first started becoming a thing, like graphic audio, I think I have to like go to their website and figure out my login in order to like listen to it again.
Yeah.
But it's a high recommend.
And I still like audiobooks and podcasts. I prefer those when I'm in a car, when I'm in a vehicle, to music. Not that I have anything against music. I just like stuff like this. So
yeah, definitely check it out. Yeah. We're hitting the 45-minute mark. We've talked a lot Green Lantern. Let's talk about your page. I mean, we haven't really discussed your page. I started talking about collectibles, but really didn't get into it because we started talking about the statue and stuff.
I can talk all day about the statue.
Like how, because it used to be never. How often do you find Green Lantern stuff like in the wild? Do you like just go and just scour the internet? How do you go about like collecting Green Lantern stuff?
A combination of both. There's a local comic shop that the owner tries to get a lot of stuff for me, and whenever anything Green Lantern comes in, I'm the first person to have a shot at it. I do pretty much on the way home every day. I stop by at least one store and see if they have something Green Lantern, if I know that there's something out there. Mm-hmm. Like I just recently got my second Platinum Guy Gardner Red Lantern from McFarlane, because I had one to review, but I got that from Canada and I didn't see it anywhere, and I finally found another one in the wild. But yeah, I'm always constantly on the look for, trades or something I can pick up somewhere. So, for as many reviews as I have on my YouTube channel, I kind of constantly have to keep that going and find new stuff for my channel. So,
yeah, for a while there, I was collecting. It used to be really tough to find something Green Lantern related. That's why I have like the PVCs and like the Jack in the Box toys, and the KB Toy Store stuff that I had earlier. But so for a while, it was like if I saw anything, I just get it because it was such a rarity. But then things started kind of like with Jeff Johns and Blackest Night and stuff.
Yeah,
Green Lantern's kind of been out there regularly. I don't have a lot of shelf space to put this stuff. So I really keep it to a minimum. When Todd McFarlane announced that he was re-releasing or bringing back the Superpowers line, I started collecting Superpowers.
Yeah.
I'm so sad that he's not going to be doing the DC license anymore. I'm hoping whoever is a Kenner picking up the DC license, I'm hoping
Mattel.
they continue. Mattel.
Yeah.
Kenner's not around anymore, right? I'm hoping that Mattel continues the Superpowers line. I don't know how plausible that'll be. I'm really hoping. I just got this guy a couple weeks ago. I talked with Jay from Geek Dad Life about this.
Awesome.
This figure turned out really, really good, but I really need a Kyle. I need a Kyle so bad.
Oh, yes. No, mine is still in the mail. That's one I haven't been able to find in the wild. I had to get it from Canada, and it's been on the way now for a couple of weeks. So it should be here in the next couple of days, though. So,
Will wants to know: are you pumped or worried about the toys moving away from McFarlane?
My only thing is, I really hope I'm not going to feel like McFarlane did things completely if we don't have Joe and Jessica. I really want those two, and I'm not sure at this point if we're going to get those.
I think there's only one female character in the entire Superpowers line, and that's Wonder Woman, and she was out in like 1985 or whatever. So I don't know. I don't know what his deal is. I feel like he should probably expand and do other stuff. There are literally not enough Jess toys out there. Only Jessica.
Tell me about it.
The only Jessica.
A crime.
So I kind of fell out of favor with Funko. I was tired of them just kind of regurgitating the same mold to make different Hals and then using that same mold for like John. It never really meshed with me, and I just kind of got rid of all of mine to you. You got all my Funko Pops, but lately they've been good. But like this is the only Funko figure I have because there is a lack of Jessica. Is this this mini Bombshells? Jessica police officer.
I bought the Bombshell statue twice, and both times it arrived broken, and I had to send it back, and I've never been able to get another one. So
that's a bummer. That sucks.
And I tell you, I bought her 12-inch DC Superhero Girls doll. By the way, I thought that show was hilarious.
Yeah.
And I never thought that would be the collectible that skyrocketed. It goes
Oh,
for
did
like
it?
Yeah, it goes for like $100 now. They didn't make a lot of them.
See, I saw it in the wild once, and I'm like, I don't need stuff on. I just don't have room. I showed it last week. I have this box, the world's finest Green Lantern Corps box, or the Lantern box they released a few years back. Not a great box, but it's just filled with all kinds of just random Green Lantern stuff that's just packed away. And I knew if I got that Jessica, that it would end up just in that box. So I never got it, but I kind of wish I did, because there is a lack. There's a lack of Jessica stuff.
There's just
hopefully with the new series. Hopefully with the new series.
I hope there's a bunch of different tie-in products. So yeah, anything I see that's a Green Lantern, if I can get my hands on it, I'll put a review on my channel.
Yeah, which I love.
I have 2 of those, but that wasn't easy to find either. The DC Multiverse when Mattel still had the license.
Right. Right. Will feels like Larfleeze talking about this stuff.
Shiny,
I try to
my
keep
shiny.
That was the thing about getting into the superpowers, because I'm like, listen, that's a DC, and they could do any DC character, so I only have to worry about buying a Green Lantern once every like 6 months or more, and that's been the case. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 6 figures. I've Hal, John, Guy, another guy. Alan Scott and Kilowog, but I have 2 more, so I have 8. I also have both Sinestros. They're on the Sinestro side of the shelf, and it's just one of those things where I'm just like, it was the perfect amount. It was like $10. I could find them at a GameStop, and it wasn't like gonna clutter my shelves. But man, I could really go for a Kyle. I'm keeping my ring charged,
man.
that he does a Kyle, because that's one of the things I will say about McFarlane is he seemed to be a Green Lantern fan.
Definitely, and there were a lot of Kyles. There were much more than I thought. When I heard he was taking over the line, and of course we had John in the early series, and I was like, I just hope he does one Kyle. And we got multiples. We got a Blue Lantern Kyle, and I was like, okay,
that's crazy. And then we got that Atrocitus figure, which looks awesome. And like, he was really he seemed to be really into Green Lantern, which is nice, because you don't really see that a lot. I know back when I was collecting Funko, they did the unboxing of the Green Lantern 3-pack, and the 2 hosts, I think it was Sully and Yoko, had no idea who the characters were or what the characters were about. And so it was like one of those things where I'm like, dang, man, like they're just not, there's no one at Funko that's really into Green Lantern. There's no like passion for someone to jump on and start doing Green Lanterns. But I think in the past couple of years, it's gotten better. There's been a Kyle. I don't know about the NFT thing. I don't know. I really wanted that Kyle, but I was like, I'm not buying the NFTs to get it. But there's a new Hal coming out, which looks really good. How are you doing on your Funko collections?
Anyone that I see, I've and that was my the pretty much the start of that. Well, I bought the Jessica Cruz the Day of the Dead one,
right?
And then that same year is when you sold me that huge lot, and I think it's doubled about since then.
Okay,
yeah.
The Black Canary one, is it Black Canary is Green Lantern from?
Yeah, I got that one too. Yeah,
from Deceased. She
yep.
doesn't have a ring, right? That figure doesn't have a ring. I just remember that.
I'd have to look at it. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it like drove me nuts. I'm like, come on, Funko, like.
Oh, there's one of the Superman Blackest Night from McFarlane doesn't have a ring, and I was like, what? I'm like, how can you not put a ring on a Lantern character?
It's nuts. Anytime I see, and that's another thing with Todd's figures was Alan Scott. They gave him a ring. They put it on his left hand. They understood the assignment. That's a great figure. Yeah. I love the soft cape. Everybody's like Sinestro's rings on the correct finger. Everyone's rings are there. They look good. The batteries look good. It's just one of those things where it's like, that's like the one thing that makes someone a Green Lantern is the ring.
Yeah.
It's the only requirement.
Yeah. And if it's missing, obviously that's a glaring omission, but if it's not done well, sometimes, and especially if you get a premium priced figure and it's not done well, you're like, come on now.
Right.
I really like the Kyle Kilowog 2-pack from McFarlane.
Oh,
I got a couple of those. I took one and I had Ron Mars autograph it. And he was like, he hadn't seen one before. He was like, yeah, I heard about these. And he's like, I hadn't seen it. And I was like, yeah, it's nice, isn't it? So
did you get the Kyle NFT one?
No, I don't have that one yet.
Because Will says that the NFT ones finally dropped down to about $50 with shipping.
Actually, maybe I did. I think maybe I did. I did about 6 months ago, and I'm just realizing that.
They did the cell-shaded one. And then they had like.
Sometimes I lose track. I ended up with the Dawnbreaker. I ended up with 4 Dawnbreakers from McFarlane, and I was like, "Where did this last one come from? I don't remember this one."
That's so great. Do you have any good things coming up down the pipeline on your channel? Any good reviews? I know you also do wrestling.
Yeah,
that's fun. I don't know if you have any. We usually just cover Green Lantern, but like, who do you like? If you were, let's say you are a ring, you're a Green Lantern ring.
Mm-hmm.
And you come to Earth, and you have to pick one wrestler.
Have to pick a wrestler.
A wrestler to be a Green Lantern.
Yeah. Who would I pick? Oh, that is a really great question. You know who? Probably my favorite wrestler of the last 15 years. Not with his current gimmick, but the guy has had so many things against him to get to where he was. Is Kofi Kingston.
Who the New Day,
right,
dressed as Red Lanterns,
right,
during was it a WrestleMania or was it there was some event like in the last.
They're comic book fans, yeah. So but I mean, if he were to, I think he would be, and he seems like a genuinely good guy. I think he would be somebody who would treat the Green Lantern ring with reverence and use it well. He's also a really smart guy, so yeah. But I'm actually working on the Kenny Omega. That's a good choice.
Yeah.
And I like Kenny Omega. Seems like a good guy too. Like away from wrestling, he just seems like a very accepting guy. I'm working on the Sinestro Super Friends, the 6-inch review.
I kind of want him, but if I gotta stop getting into new toy lines. I need to keep my stuff down. I can't spend money on that kind of stuff. But maybe I can get that Tomare statue. I'm gonna go see how much that costs.
Well, and I've been purging a lot of non-Green Lantern stuff out of because I mean this room is it's bleeding with collectibles, and I just don't have shelf space. And I know I'm like with the movie and the TV series, both the 2 TV series. I hope to get a lot more collectibles. I'm like, so I got to make space. So.
Dude, Hot Toys just announced the David Corn Sweat,
the Superman. Yeah,
Superman
I saw
figure.
It, yeah.
I've owned one Hot Toy in my life, and that was the Dutch from Predator, which I sold to go get something at Comic-Con. But like,
Predator
I'm like,
dude, let me tell you, not that Hot Toys, not that they weren't beautiful, but that faux leather that they used that would degrade and fall apart. That talk about disappointing.
Yeah. Arnold's stomach was also deteriorating because they used a different kind of rubber on his chest. But I remember they announced the Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern for Hot Toys. Never saw the light of day.
Yeah.
Would love to see those sculpts if they're still around.
Yeah. I got the Sideshow one, and it looks good, but the articulation is terrible because the suit's so tight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they get to the point where they do a Hot Toys guy,
I'm on it. In a heartbeat.
I kind of got it too. The suit I was pissed at. I saw the suit for the first time. I'm like, that's not Guy Gardner. It is a vest, which is fine, but I'm like, that's not Guy Gardner. And a lot of people have been on my page like bitching and moaning about it's not his costume.
Sure.
It doesn't look like his costume. I'm like, I get it, but I picture Guy Gardner being a sellout to sign his contract with Maxwell Lord, and sure, I'll wear a different uniform. But man, imagine if they get fed up with Maxwell Lord and just Guy Gardner just ripping that costume off to shreds, and then him having the classic costume underneath. Like that's what I'm like. I'm going to be patient with this.
Yeah, that's what I've said. I don't necessarily think this is the only the only costume we're going to see on Guy.
I think he's going to be different in Lanterns. I honestly do. I think by the time Peacemaker's done, maybe we can get Guy. But if they release a Hot Toys guy, like I'm gonna have to start
I'm on it.
saving up my pennies and really.
That's the first thing I thought about when I was watching that video where Hot Toys was showing that to David Corn and Sweat, and he was looking at it with admiration. I was like, I need a guy.
Yeah. Will says we can spend money on it, Ralph. Here's the thing. For me, like I just want to say that I'm super grateful. In the last month, this page has just like blown up.
It has. I'm so happy for you, man.
It's so crazy, and it makes me happy. Huge shout out to Will for sort of guiding me on like doing shorts. It's something I was just like so against. I felt like extra work, and I haven't really been doing like original shorts, but the shorts that I've been reposting from around the internet, kind of calling Green Lantern clips from the internet, have really been helping. One of them I just realized today is about to hit like 800,000 or something like that.
Nice.
Maybe 900,000. So it's helping people show up, which makes me happy. And it's going to allow me very soon, within the next few weeks, monetize this channel.
Awesome.
And so if I can monetize this channel and this channel's making me income, I can probably get a Tomare statue and write that off as a show expense. And now I'm going to get into Emerald Enthusiast territory and start doing statue reviews.
Hey, by all means, yeah, have fun with it. That's my ultimate goal. Is I just want to be able to monetize my channel someday, so it'll pay for my hobby. I don't want to get rich, just enough to pay for all this stuff.
Yeah. Donnie, it's been great. It's been great having you.
Thank you so much for inviting me on. I was honored.
You have to come back. We barely scratched the surface of your channel. Yeah. Everybody head over to Emerald Enthusiast. I think that's your handle everywhere.
Yeah.
Blue Sky, TikTok, YouTube. Go to YouTube. Let's get that channel monetized. Let's get those hours viewed, and so that you can go get your Hot Toys, Nathan Fillion. Dude, could you imagine a world where Hot Toys does a Guy Gardner action figure based on a major motion picture?
Yeah, it's just to be able to say it sounds wonderful.
Yeah. YouTube says he can only subscribe to him once, but trust him, he's tried. And again, let Gun cook.
Yeah.
I trust that he's a massive DC fan. Guy, I think we'll get Guy in his real outfit. Yeah. Thank you for joining me. Thank you everybody in the chat. I'll see you guys. If not sooner, I'll see you on Wednesday, where I'll be covering Superman, a movie that I will have seen on Tuesday. If some crazy news comes out before then, I'll do a live stream. So make sure you hit the bell icon so you're notified if there's any sort of last minute GL news that comes out. And if you don't want to be spoiled, that review on Wednesday will be spoiler free. But if you're still not sure about joining us, come back on Thursday, where Vactor and I will be covering Green Lantern Corps number 6. Oh, and then what's awesome is Green Lantern 25 is a crossover with Green Lantern Corps. So Will is going to join me with Vactor for a super episode. All of that stuff is in my upcoming live streams on YouTube. So go and set all your reminders and your bell icons, and I really appreciate it. Thank you for joining me, everybody.
Thanks everyone who showed up for this. We appreciate it.
Yeah, this is just a ton of fun. It's great to talk to friends about Green Lantern, and thank you, everybody. And until next time, beware my podcast. It's Lanterns Live. Bye.